I please invite to dais Rohit Dadwal.
Thank you, Ishma. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Now, that's more like it. How many of you actually know what AI means? Raise your hands. Be honest to yourself. What AI means for you? Raise. How many have actually used AI? Okay, let me ask you, what have you used in AI? ChatGPT? That's AI for you, right? ChatGPT. Okay. How many know that AI is being used and has been used by all of you in the last 10 years? Few of us, right? How many know that you will only be using majority of your work on AI going forward? That's the reality. That's the reality check. That's exactly what Amit was alluding to when he mentioned his discussion with Sat Orban, that AI is going to change. It's not just going to change the world. Within the world sphere, it's going to change what AI means for advertising and marketing. Or, in other words, what advertising and marketing is, as we know it, is going to change. Is going to change very quickly. And I think we all need to be aware of it. I'm not sure how much we can be ready to adapt to it right away, but at least we need to be aware and be ready, as Amit again alluded, adaptability, agility. We all need to be there. As an industry, that is an impetus on us, because we will not be able to do what the consumer needs. And consumer is always right. They are the first ones who adopt new technologies, but they adopt it for their consumption, for their preferences. What I'm going to share with you today is a report, a research that we undertook at MMA globally on the state of AI in marketing. And this actually started about 6 months back. AI is new, right? Everybody knows. But it was 6 months back when a few of the marketeers on our board, global board, at a regional board and other, started asking, what are we doing on AI? What is AI going to be? How will it impact us? And we needed to walk the talk. If the automation industry, if the advertising industry, the marketing industry is going to do this, and this is something which is coming our way, how do we understand what that will mean for us? So what I'm going to share with you is a very brief insight. It's a very detailed report. I'm not going to take the whole day to give you that insight, but a very high level insights of what we have figured out doing this research with the top 200 brands around the world, with the leading marketing agencies, with the publishers, our partners, our member ecosystem, of what they believe and what they know of AI, and how this will help transcend what advertising and marketing will be as we move forward. I'd like this to be interactive. If you have any points, any point of view on a particular data point, please do please do raise your hand. I'll like it to be so that we all understand where we are. It's something that we all are struggling with, to be honest, and we need to know that. But it's also very good that we know that it's coming and we are getting ready for it. So what I'm going to share with you is a very high level data of what the benchmark study was about and what we were looking at. So you need to see this in context of three things: growth agenda and use cases. Is there a growth agenda behind AI? And are there active use cases which marketeers are using today? What that really means is there a framework for AI in marketing? AI, if you look at it, if I were to stand here in this particular room, I would say AI for us is broadly categorized today as Gen AI, generative AI. You all know what generative AI is, right? Mid-Journey, DALL-E, that's what we feel generative AI is. ChatGPT at one end, somebody wanting to write a communication letter or an email or whatever. The report focuses on senior marketers to also understand and present what the risk and governance of this is. It's very good to know, sorry. It's very good to know that this is coming, this is going to change the world and all. But please understand, it has huge impact on governance. It is very risky. Some of you may already know, Samsung has officially banned the use of generative AI. Income, which is one of the biggest insurance and financial service providers, has actually officially announced that AI can only be used for exploration purposes and not for the consumption of the consumer. Because if I were to put an AI-based ad, a creative, there are many challenges. Who's the owner? Where did that image originate from? Who has the copyright for that? Anybody can sue you today. Big organizations don't want to take that risk. This is a multi-billion-dollar risk. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's reality, and we need to be aware of it. And that all boils down to the winning marketing organization. How do organizations adapt? How do we understand what the capabilities are and how we take those capabilities and make them part of our growth agenda? So that's really the key highlights. This presentation will be shared with all of you, and you can see the detailed 40, 50 slides or more than that. But before I deep dive into this, what I want to call out is I'm not trying to state the obvious, but this is it. We are at an inflection point. There is and is continuing to be built the business cases, use cases around it. The organizations are being challenged. The data challenges, the leadership challenges also hinder the growth. It's not just one way. It also hinders growth. So you need to be ready for that. And leadership doesn't only start at the top. Leadership starts at every level. Because if you were to look at AI, it's not about the CEO making a decision that we want to, or the CMO making a decision that we want to adapt to AI. It has various aspects to it. The marketing department, within the marketing department, there are departments. IT has to support it. The procurement has to support it. We don't talk about finance, but they have to support it. They have to understand what they are even trying to procure in the market. So all that is going to happen, and it's really time to think about what AI-related risks are right now. I'm not going to spend too much time on the risks, but I'm going to give you a quick overview of AI. So we asked the question, what is AI in the CX, consumer experience environment? And this is the result that you have on the screen. Everybody talks about, 50% of the audience is talking about scaling being done in the last 12 months. 50% of the big organizations have started to scale. The numbers can be small. They can be scaling from 1%, but they are scaling. They are realizing the potential. And 53% of marketeers have done at least some amount of AI testing in the last 1-2 years. And it's going to just get amplified as we go forward. But if you look at it from a funnel perspective, what does the activation and personalization mean for that? It is the number one use case today. Because it's the easiest use case. We've been doing this for the years. Chat bots, etc., have been doing. Personalization has been done. CRM has been done. We used to call it machine learning. Some people called it AI, but it was happening. And that continues to drive the agenda for us. Activation and personalization is 47% of what marketeers are looking at using AI for in the immediate future, or have already started adopting because it's an easy path forward. Production, not so much. with all the hype around generative AI, it's not happening because the frameworks are not there. So if you guys are looking at building, using this, the framework is very important, and every organization needs to have that. MMA, based on this, is going to come out with the toolkit, the framework, the RFI, etc., so how marketers can look at it. Measurement is another key element. It's going to help change that. And I'm sure when Rahul comes on stage after me, and he's the expert, I am not, he's going to talk about how it is actually going to impact the industry, and some specific use cases of how the insurgents, as you say, will upset the big players in the market. And these are the small startups whom you don't even know of today. They are going to come in 6 months' time and take your bread away. And we need to be aware of that. We need to be ready for that. And customer service, as I said, marketers are using that. So despite the excitement, the industry is still in a very early phase, as I said, from organizational understanding to vision to knowledge sharing process, investments, etc. And when we say AI is important, it's also the backbone of the customer service industry. But please don't forget, the backbone of that industry is also IT within your organization. So that relationship which 10 years back started with the CDO in a marketing organization, then CTO getting involved in this organization, those functions, those organizations are going to change because you will not be able to do it. AdTech and MarTech to a certain extent was able to be driven insular of the rest of the organization. This will not. This will require the entire organization to come together. So overall, there's a good understanding and motivation within the organization. But again, as I said, it needs a very robust business plan, business thinking. And that can only be done if the results are being validated. If there is any significant use case, if you guys have, any one of you has a use case on AI? No, not even a single hand. If you do, please share it with MMA. We would like the rest of the industry to know about it. We will share some of the use cases that we are working on so that it gives you an idea of what needs to be done. If there are any use cases, please feel free to reach out to Monica, to me, because we would like to share, even if they are not 100% success, but that's a starting point. And partial ownership and accountability. And this is what I was talking about. It is very important to figure that out, that it is not going to be a significantly insular or a single point accountability. It is going to be a shared accountability across the entire organization. And this one, for a change, if I may, will not only be driven by the C level. It has to be done at every level. Even a small copywriter has to understand how he is going to use and learn prompts if he wants to use it. How many of you know how to write prompts? 2, 3. Are you experts in writing prompts? I just came across, I have just bookmarked a page on my browser of 750 prompts that a marketing organization should know. 750 prompts. It's actually, I can share that link with you guys. And that's just the beginning. If you even want to get into ChatGPT to get something in marketing, there's 750 prompts. And there's a way and a structure to write those prompts. Otherwise, you are not going to get anywhere. You can write. When I started first, I used DALL-E and Midjourney. To get one creative, I spent 25 credits. One creative. Now I'm down to 12, but it's still nowhere close to. And each credit comes at a cost. And it's not cheap. Anyways. Moving on, pre-existing issues with data are coming to surface, and data quality, data depth, system integration, these are all going to surface as we move forward. So organizations need to introduce these new set of challenges. These are being introduced to them, the lack of precision, the lack of availability, etc. But what is most important is they have to understand that measurement, which is an ongoing challenge in the digital world, and my buzzer is going to ring in 20 seconds, and I will take 1 minute more than that, is is an ongoing challenge since 1994 when internet really started. It's not going to get resolved today. Nor will this be that silver bullet, but it will enhance the capabilities for every part of the marketing organization to be able to establish the return of investment, the measurement and data around that. And the last slide that I want to leave you with is, it's all very nice, it's all very hunky-dory, this is the future, but please, please be mindful. It comes at certain risks. It comes with certain challenges. Governance being the biggest one of them. Understanding skills is the second biggest. You need to be aware of that precision of using the data, using AI. You need to be aware of the creation of quality of data that comes out, the content, the marketing efforts that are going to be delivered through it. It's all need to be understood very properly and then become a part of the strategy as we move forward. 15% of organizations have a proper strategy to explain the impact of AI. I would love to know if there's anybody in the room who has a strategy in AI. Here. I am also wondering when I saw this data, who are these 15% marketeers who actually understand and have a strategy on AI? And we are going to go to them and ask them for that data so that we can share it with you. But I'm skeptical. What they think they know and what they actually know may not be the same. So we need to be very aware of that. And very few organizations are concerned with, 13% are concerned with employees. I think that's a myth. We did a small series of statements, and we asked some of our regional board members and some marketeers saying, what does AI mean for everybody? And we posted it on social media and all. And while I was asked by my marketing team, and I had to think a lot about it. And to me, it was one statement. AI will not take your job. Nobody's job. AI will not take your job. The person who knows how to operate AI will take your job. That's the difference. So this myth about somebody taking your job is the person who knows how to effectively write the prompt, use AI, etc. Maybe that may be the person to do that. And governance, as I said, governance is key to do that. Companies in the leadership position have to understand that the prioritization and generalization of this has to go through the entire organization and not at one level only, because this is not singular. It's not singular to any one part of the organization. Therefore, the initiation also has to be done from ground level or top level, but the deployment also at the other end has to reflect both of those points. So, recap, we are at an inflection point. It is something we all should be very excited with. I am, personally, even to get those mid-journey images for my presentations or writing ChatGPT prompts. But for advertising and marketing on the whole, the business cases are looking, they are starting to come. Maybe Rahul can share one or two of them as we move forward. But do look forward to them. Use them as your study material. That is where you are going to build. Strategy is going to be done across the organization, and it's really time to think about what those risks are. We like it, but we need to be aware of at what cost it comes. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you liked the presentation, the insights, and you can get the detailed presentation by mailing us. Thank you.